Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast where we try to figure it all out with your hosts, Brandon and Collin. On this week's show, Vacuum Store. Ahoy!
Ahoy!
Hey, how's it going?
That's going pretty good.
Sorry, my computer decided to switch my input to something that has no audio equipment connected to it. And I said, that's not.
Just a fun, dramatic pause. I was like,
I was like,
I don't hear anything.
I was like, ahoy! And I was like, oh, this Brandon, oh no. And I was like, I couldn't hear. Like, oh, he's saying, what is going on? And
everything's fine.
Everything is fine. Oh, goodness. I have been, once a week, I write an email that goes out to dog walking and pet sitting businesses. And I write this email and I shoot it off, right? And then it just goes and it disappears. I've been doing this since, since March 20th, 2020. Okay?
Wowza.
Every week.
Holy cannoli.
Yeah. I'm okay. That's something I'm kind of proud of. Sometimes it's just a little quip. Sometimes it is just, sometimes it's quite lengthy because I have a lot on my brain and I need to get it out. I realize, I should be doing something else with this. And because it's just an email, right? It just goes out and dies. So I am, just 15 minutes ago was like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going back to all those emails and I'm pulling out relevant or good ones, and I am going to be putting those on actually trying to do some sort of adding them to a blog page of some sort. Repurposing content is what that is.
Oh, boom! There you go.
I was just like, it's like, my goodness, I have there's a lot of stuff here, and so I'm trying to do that so I can actually have something helpful. But it's hard because a lot of this stuff I'm like, man, some of it is so like, I'm like, oh, this is really good, but also some of it is like really of a time. And that's
true, yeah.
I'm like, oh, this was only good like 2 years ago when I actually wrote this.
Yeah.
So I can't do anything with this. So.
Yeah, let's not relive anything from like June 2020. We can just delete that. We just scrub that out.
Yeah.
Just pretend.
And some of these I wrote very differently 4 years ago, of where I was like, I used to do a lot of bespoke recaps of like, on this week's episode we talked about this with these 3 takeaways, and then with our interview we did this. Like, I did a lot of that, which I'm not going to capture that, but I'm also trying to look at that and going, oh, could I expand that? Could I do something with that, or do I just need to move on and not sit here and really stress about this? Just grab what's there and what's immediately usable and then move on. I don't know yet.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, right? Like, is it a thing that needs to be like focused on? Is there stuff to be mined from that, or meh? Right, just whatever.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, could I expand on that idea? Or basically what I'm trying to do is go, is there a complete thought here? And is it basically like an blog as right now? Or do I just...
Or do I have to do more work?
Yes. See, that's the thing. Is I'm trying not to do more work.
Always important.
I already did the work.
Yeah. So you don't want to do it again, right? Like
right. Right.
No, that makes sense. You want to try to optimize it and use it. Like, use what you already have for something, and if it's like not usable, just be like, yep, well, it's there. So anyway,
Yep. Again, Yeah, because I've batted these ideas around of like, oh, I need to take an episode or something, and like that could be a book chapter, and then I'm like, but then I have to make it a book chapter.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't
There's
want to do that.
yeah, I have, yeah, there, yes. I kind of understand where you're coming from here because I have some stuff like that in my job where I like have things, right? Like stuff. And then I'm like, I could like consolidate all of this and like make like basically I could do like just a ton of stuff and like basically like make my own like ebook lesson thing that goes with my class.
Oh,
But the amount of work required to pull that off is just stupendous. And I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we're just gonna go with like little chunks here and there because
Mhm.
I could do that, but oh my lord, that would take just an amount of effort that I don't want to fathom. Right? Like I just
Yeah.
like,
No.
oh man, that would be so much.
Yeah, I'm going through this I go through these. Okay, so I go through these stages where I'm like, I'm not I can't write a single thing. Like it's just really hard for me sometimes. Other times I'm like, nope, this is a full-fledged thing. I can't stop writing. Um and I have had this thing in my brain of like I I know what I should do. Again, these things that I just add to my brain, and then of course I stress out that I didn't get them done even though they were not ever feasible. Like I do this to myself. I don't know if you do, right? Where I'm like,
not quite to your extent. You're much more intense about these sort of things than I am.
yeah.
Right? Like I'm like, oh yeah, I could be doing that. Oh well. Like I just, I just keep going. I really should do that more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really good about adding completely ridiculous things to my plate that like are not, you think of the SMART goals or whatever, like they're not even remotely close to that, especially with the time that I don't give myself.
Yeah.
But of I have added to my plate now of like I need to write a productivity guide for business owners. That's that's
Ooh, that sounds
ah,
that sounds quite horrible. I don't know.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. Most of it is.
Wow, that
Uh,
mm, mm.
oh, yes. Yeah. But I did come up with a great analogy for productivity, and I don't know. I don't know. Let me run it by you, and you can help me workshop this. Okay. So, because I came up with this while walking a dog, and so I've only revisited. I get these ideas sometimes where I will have it, and then I will never revisit the idea until like way later, and then I'm very confused by my original idea. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
wait,
no, I do that. I because I'm not like super organized about these things, I will scribble like post-it notes,
mm,
right? Where it's like my at work anyway, my ideas generally generate from scrawled post-it notes, right?
mm,
So sometimes what I'll do is I'll write down just the beginning of the idea, and then I don't tear it off of the
oh,
pad. I just like leave it there so I can like
yeah,
look at it.
sure.
And other times I have like I'll save them for later. So I do this thing where I like open the drawer and I stick them to the side of the drawer on the side of the desk, right?
Yeah,
So they're kind of just there.
it's
And
fantastic.
then if I need to like revisit them, I'll be like, look through there and then like build off of that. Right. Like I did that last year with one of my things. I was like, oh, that's just something to think about for later. Yeah. Stick. Okay. Anyway. So it's really an unorganized, jumbled mess of post-it notes. That's really how it works. I don't want
Uh, Well, I don't even get as far as writing things down. I just lodge these little thoughts in my brain, which makes them even more distorted by the time I try and go back to them or I remember them of some sense. Like, imagine there are some thoughts. I will describe it like this. I remember them as a shadow of the thought that I had, and it's like that's not helpful. And
Yeah.
this,
I've done that before when I write with a note. Like that's what I was getting at. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot halfway through my sentence. Like I'll write like just like half a thought down and be like, I'm gonna save that. And then I'll find it later and be like,
oh yeah,
what the heck was this?
really bad.
Like
really like, oh my
what?
gosh. So my half brain idea here, I guess that's where this comes from, is that it's productivity is like a lot of people think first off, it's just people think it's getting more things done in your plate, and I would argue that it's not doing more things, it's just doing the right things, right? Like this more nuanced way of saying that, but imagine you have been tasked with here comes my analogy, and I don't know if this actually describes what I think it's describing. Imagine you have been tasked with packing the luggage for a 2-week vacation in the car. There are two ways that people pack, right? They can either pack by waiting until everything's in front of them, so they can put things in a I'm not going to say cohesive place, but I'm just going to say put things in a more maybe logical placement of items, right? Where everything is like, that's exactly where that piece goes so that this can fit over here, blah, blah, blah. The other way of packing is by having a stream of people just come and hand you like one item at a time, and you just place it and then reach back for the other thing and go with it on the fly. And that's so that's a way of like tasks are the luggage being given to you, and if you don't have an idea of like everything that you're dealing with, it's harder to know like A, when you're full, and like B, how to fit everything in as you go. But then I also could complicate this by saying like, now imagine that you're tasked with packing the luggage, but A, you don't know the vehicle that you're actually supposed to be packing these into, and B, you don't know how many people are going. So and that's like how I find like a lot of people run, of like, I don't even know my capacity. I don't even know what I can take on. And I don't really know what all is required of me. I just take whatever I can, like a big swipe at things, and I try and figure it out as I go and hope that I'm keeping up with everything that I need to do.
Sounds like you need to develop option C, the staging area, right? Where you can that's what you get that going on there. We can take all the stuff and then kind of pre-pile it.
Yeah.
Before you put it in the trunk, right? That's what you get.
Yeah. Well, that's the first option of like, you pack it by like waiting till everything's in front of you. And then like, so you can see like, that's what I have to deal with. Like, that's what I would say the staging area is. Like, okay, here's what I'm working with. Don't add anything else. Like, or like, as you do, like, wait, I need to reassess what's happening, because maybe it goes in the trunk, or maybe it needs to go on the floorboards in the back seat.
Oh, of course.
So anyway, I was walking 2 dogs up a very steep hill and talking to myself as I was doing that. So that's what I do.
You mean talking to the dogs? Of course. I mean,
right. I was instructing Maisie and Summer about how they should pack that. Clearly.
If dogs could pack a car, how would they do it?
Yeah.
Right.
So imagine, Maisie, or is it a moped or is it a Chevy Suburban? Right. I just don't know how long how much I should torture that. Because then I was like, oh, I could add another complication of you don't even know what kind of vacation you're taking. So,
see, I feel like you're really illustrating your own problem.
Yes.
Just in your over analyzing of the analogy.
Yes.
Right. That's really what I feel like.
Yes. That's what I'm really.
That's what I feel like is happening here. I feel like
I'm really good at overcomplicating things. I don't want to brag, but
it's kind of my thing, you know. It's just what I do.
Pretty good. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's been my moral of that story. I'm going back and trying to harvest something of what is that? Yeah, something through 208 emails basically of like what do I keep? What do I keep?
That's rough. Yeah, that's a lot of parsing.
Yeah.
I would, if I were you, if I was doing this,
yeah,
I would start in like reverse order. Right? Like I would be like, okay, we know here's the most recent things I did. Kablam.
Yeah.
Right? And then that way you kind of like know your plan, right? You kind of goal out that way and then like, you know, do, and then all of a sudden like, oh, okay. Once you get back to like the real weird esoteric stuff, then you already know like what's up.
So. That's a good point. Is that because most of my I've gotten better and I write differently than I did back then. Like I just right before we jumped on the call, I was looking at one email that I sent out, and it was basically just like 3 kind of middling thought-provoking questions that I had asked. So I can definitely see how I should just go back and, you know, I need to edit that a little bit.
Yeah, sort of like focus in on the thing that you're actually looking for and then be like, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Or just realize that, like, you know what? Collin from 2020 and all of 2021 was terrible at writing these. So like I don't actually need to, I should.
Well, that's the other thing too, right? Like you got better at doing like the thing that you wanted.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? And so you know like what you want out of it. And so then it'd make it easier to pick out the things that you want.
Yeah.
For when you get there, right? Like
yes.
So it'd be all right.
Yeah.
It is a overly complicated process of confusion, right? So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the other thing that I thought that I would try and do of like, I don't want to make this like, I really wanted to find a way to export all of these like in one go. But that
doesn't sound feasible.
It is not feasible at all. They don't allow you to do that. Which is most unfortunate. Because I then have to go through and copy and paste every single one of these that I want. Yeah. So, well, anyway, you know. My problem, I suppose, that I gave myself and nobody was asking.
You definitely made this for all you. That's definitely true. Like
nobody was asking. Nobody cared. I was just like, you know what? That's what I'm doing, people. Oh, have I read you the sorry, these are just things that popped in my head. have I read you my
That's literally the show. What are you apologizing for? Like what are you talking about?
Have I read to you my my 'Twas the Night Before Christmas rewrite for pets?
If you have, I don't recall.
Okay.
So very topical. January 25th, 1 month late. Here is
okay. Yeah. That's how we look. That's, you know, it's fine. Yeah, I will read. Hold on. I'm clicking. Things are moving around. Okay. Oh no. Okay. 'Twas the night before Christmas, in the pound so still, not a creature did stir in the crisp air, crisp winter chill. I'm not good at this. Paw kings, instead of stockings, paw kings were hung by the chimney with flair in hopes that Santa Claus soon would be there. The puppies all nestled in bed snug and tight, dreams of milk bones and tummy rubs, pure delight. Asleep without counting a single sheep, in their cozy warm beds they slumbered deep. It doesn't have the same thing. Then out in the streets there arose such a din. The alley cats, rats declared with a grin. Pups sprang to the window, eyes wide and keen, for a sight quite unlike any they'd ever seen. 8 tiny dogs frolicked, leaving prints in the snow. They'd heard about a grand neighborhood puppy show. Rumors of a feast, a bacon buffet so fine. Tails wagging, they lined up. Oh, such a divine sign. Now Boston, now Pug, Beagle, Cav gather near, on Corgi, on Sheba, Akita, Terrier here. Leave the squirrel, drop that hat, come, let's not stray. There's much to prepare for our festive sleigh play. Santa Claus danced through the kennel with glee, leaving treats, toys, and joy for each puppy to see. With kongs filled with peanut butter, he left his mark, a feast for the senses, a light in the dark. With a wink and a purr to his sleigh he returned, while puppies barked joyfully, their hearts warmed and yearned. And away Santa Claus flew into the night, yowling, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Yowling.
Yowling? Yow!
That's like
It's a cat.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry.
That's great.
Here we
go.
I think I wrote that. It's what I sent out to all of our pet care clients every year.
Of course.
The past 2 years.
Of course. Oh, nice.
They just have to do. They just get that for free. They don't ask for that.
Oh wow. Part of the service. Here we go.
Didn't think you'd get slam poetry, did you? Ha!
Yeah.
At least expect it. Anyway. That's all.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So did you guys get a lot of fog down your way?
Yeah, like 2 days.
It's terrible.
It's ridiculous. It's so damp outside. Like,
Yes.
We haven't gone to recess all week.
No, really?
Which has been miserable because, well, like the first day, it was like, so next week's going to be rough because I have to go to school for like a whole week in a row. Oh, God. Dang. Right?
Can you believe that's allowed?
I know. Ridiculous. We had like ice craziness on Monday, right?
Oh my God. Were you guys out for that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like we had friends over Sunday night. We were like celebrating one of their birthdays and we were like hanging out and doing whatever. And so like they left and I was like, okay, well, meh, it's nothing doing. And then about 11:30, I went outside before I went to bed just to kind of like peep the situation, you know?
Yeah.
And my trash can was a solid block of ice. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a good sign. I'm in. So no school the next day. Right. I went outside again in the morning and the sidewalk in my driveway and the road just solid.
Oh, no.
Completely. Just, there's no way. Right. So it was still raining all morning. So by like noon, it was pretty fine, you know, because it was like freezing rain.
Yeah.
So the temperature came up and the rain kind of blah. But like then the next day, so Tuesday, outside was just a mud pit, right? Because the ground had been frozen and it thawed out. Plus, it'd been raining, so it was just bleh. And then yesterday and today, it's been so foggy that it's just like damp, and it's not exactly cold, but it's not like what I would call warm, but it's just dampness everywhere. So it's been like really, really foggy for like 2 days in a row, like all day too, which has been weird. And then we didn't go outside just because, again, just mud everywhere, right? You know how like it would end up, you know how like a drive, this is an analogy, right? We drove the back way home today because we had to go somewhere else to this person's house and get a signature on a thing, whatever. But you drive through a field in Missouri, right? Here you go. Here's some Midwest facts for you people out there. You drive through a field in the wintertime and you look at it and you can be like, there's cows there. Right. That's what our playground looks like. Right. When if there was people to go outside right now, that's what it would turn into. Just like you look at the field and you'd be like, cows. Right. That's the field they're in. You can tell just because the ground is all just destroyed.
Yeah. Oh no.
Right. That would be what happened if we went outside. So we've been playing in and just doing indoor recessy things because sixth graders are already ridiculous enough, right? They don't have a lot of sense sometimes or spatial awareness. So if there is a big giant muddy hole, someone will run directly across it just because someone else is chasing them, and they will just eat it so hard. And
oh no,
that is what would happen, right? I don't need to be the Minority Report supercomputer to predict this, right? It will happen 100%. They'll just run. There's like a big, giant, wet, muddy area. Run straight through it. Like, what, guys? Wait, and then they go inside and be like, "Oh my gosh, my shoes are so dirty." What do you? What?
Of course it is, right? It's terrible.
Shocking. Who could have seen that coming?
Right.
Literally everyone. Like literally me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I'm gonna play some catch up, but it's a little zany, right? But been a weird week. Trying to like just get stuff like I'm also like I've because of all the snow and all this like ice days, I guess. Right. I'm just like it was like almost to the end of this unit anyway. So I was just like, we have to stop. We have to be. I don't care. We're just gonna stop. We're just gonna be done. We're gonna wrap up and we're just gonna do quiz review. That's all we're doing. Just like no, like we're not we're not messing with it anymore. Just
yeah, not even gonna bother.
Like, we're not gonna drag this out. We're not gonna do all this stuff. Like I can't. We're just scrapping it, moving on. Like I can't because it won't be good if we just keep dragging it out forever. It won't go well. So meh, no, done, blah.
You lose. You get nothing. What is that?
Yeah, so that would be bad. So we're just doing that. We're just aborting. We took our quiz today, right? We just decided this week, quiz review week, done. Here we go. Everything blam.
Oh.
So it's been a bit hectic, but it's all right. Just like, okay, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. So it's been just real weird and like, trying to figure out what to do, what to just move on from. Like, okay, we'll just come back to this later. We're just going to go. We're not going to dwell. We're not going to do things. We're just going to scrap this and move because we have to move forward. And it won't, like I said, it won't do them any good to like sit and ruminate on these things that they learned about like weeks ago at this point. It's like, okay, we just have to, we're done.
Yeah. Just pull the ripcord on it, and that's interesting. We had, Lillian is going through learning about commas right now, and she was supposed to have like a big test that involved that. Yeah, and the teacher reached out and was like, "No, we're not ready for that. So don't worry about studying right now. I think we're gonna circle back to that later because we need to. We've got a lot of work to do."
Yeah, and so like we spent all week, right? Tuesday and Wednesday, and then part of the day we did like review stuff. We did our thing. We did our study guide. We did all this stuff. And so we did all this review practice, right? And so I told them, right, like, look, it's been a long time since we've done some of this stuff. So we need to make sure that we're doing these things I'm asking you to, right? We need to make sure we're taking it seriously and blah, 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 right? And for like our rock ID thing, right, we had to I was like, you need to make your sheet, right? You need to like write your descriptions. And if you write them, you can use them on the test, right? To help identify your rocks, right? I just go, what's this rock? And they write it down, But if you have a description sheet, because scientists do that, they like write down the descriptors and they go, oh, these means it's that, right? Boom, done. So I was like, if you do that, then that will be helpful to you. And a whole bunch of them were like, yeah, whatever. It's fine. I don't care.
Oh, no.
And like, they're like, whatever. Can do it, right?
Yeah, I don't need that.
Use their thing, right? They just took their quiz. They were done in like 5 seconds, and I graded it. And when I released the scores this afternoon, I said, "I am available for retakes next Wednesday, if you're interested." Yeah, because like
Nice.
I was like, you didn't do the thing. You didn't do. I laid out a path for you, right? I said follow these steps. The ones that did really good, but the other ones who I know, here's what they did: they screwed off. They rushed really fast, and they hung out with their friend in the corner and played games on their Chromebooks and pretended like I couldn't see them. I watched them the whole time. I know exactly what you're doing, and I was just going, "Not gonna be good for you, Slick." Like, okay.
Oh yeah, it's trying to. I don't know. I'm sure it's hard to not do the like I the whole I told you so like too terribly. I guess I don't know.
No. I did it to my fellow teacher. I was like, "Look, I told him." Ha!
Yes.
But not to the kids. I didn't. But yeah, I was like, I know exactly. I did tell. So I just blanket statemented to the class, like, I know exactly what's happened today because this is what happened. Mm-hmm. You thought this would be. You said the illegal word to yourself. You thought that this would be easy.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, this is easy mode. I don't have to worry about this. And then, right, your overconfident, your hubris has come back to find you.
Yes, and has found you wanting. Right? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I told him you can take, because the test is in 2 halves. So I was like, okay, you are if you're interested in taking one or both again, redoing that, come see me and I'll schedule you for Wednesday. Let me know. Smiley face. So we'll see.
Yeah, see what kind of response you get tomorrow.
Yeah. See what kind of response I get. See, some of them, right? I told him, not playing around, right? You're in 6th grade. Mm-hmm. If you write me a 2-word answer on this question, I promise you, I'm going to count it wrong. I told them that yesterday during their study guide review. And guess what? I said to them, one of you will do this. I promise you. And they're always like, no one would do that. I promise you, tomorrow, someone will just write, like, yes. Always happen. Right? It's like not even a yes or no question. They'll just be like, yeah. What? Like, like it will happen.
Yeah.
And when it does happen, I am counting it incorrect. Ooh. Because they like to do the thing where if you're like, what is the difference between blah blah? They'll say like, oh, one is this and one is that. You didn't answer my question. You didn't tell me which one is which. Therefore, I don't know if you know the correct thing, right?
Mm.
So I told them in advance, 2 days in a row, I will count it wrong if you do that. There's always one. I even told them, one of you will do this. And they're like, no. I was like, yes. One of you. Probably the person that said, nuh-uh. It probably
yeah, the one of you that just said that. The one of you
that's denying it outright before I'm even done talking. It's a thing that guilty people do. Yeah. Just saying. Yeah. I watch enough police dramas to know.
Yeah, the one who can't stop talking. I see you.
Right. You might as well just put the dun dun right after you get done saying there, because we're going to commercial. And when we come back to commercial, oh, look, I'm grading your test and I'm counting it wrong. It's what.
Oh, that's great.
So that was just mildly amusing / annoying today, because I hate it when I go, this is what's going to happen. We do all this prep, we do all these things, and I know. And it's like, dang it. He'd being right about that. And so that goes.
Sorry.
I even take all these steps to try to avoid it. And we put in these bolsters and be like, aha, here's things we need to do. I would say the majority of their answers are getting like much better. They're like written expression answers.
Oh.
Right? Finally dragging it out of them. Because I did joke with him the other day. I was like, I understand that when you become a 6th grader, like something weird happens to you. You just become the laziest person ever. and you think to yourself when you're answering a question, exactly how many words do I have to type?
Yeah.
And you're looking for like the least common number. You're like, is it 4?
Yeah.
Is it 1? Spoilers, it's not 1. I'll tell you that right now.
Sure.
Is it?
Yeah.
And so it's like,
surely not more than 2, though. I mean, that's excessive.
I was giving him grief about it. I was like, I understand that. It's like, you must fight against this because
it's the fight worth fighting.
Yeah, it's a fight worth fighting. Okay, some of you are excellent, right? You're doing fine, but others of you, we need to battle harder because sometimes you write words and I have absolutely no idea what you're trying to tell me because you've tried to condense the sentence down so much, and then it's not enough words, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
What does that mean? What are they trying to say? I get out my Rosetta Stone and be like, I wonder what this could mean.
Plug this into ChatGPT and see if it can expand this thought for me. Because
what does this mean?
I got nothing here, folks. Nothing.
Oh, that's how we secretly make ChatGPT unusable. We just start feeding it 6th grade writing. And it will just completely implode upon itself.
Yeah, that's right? Really diabolical. Really diabolical.
You ask it a question and it'll just give you some answer and you'll just be like, what?
Yeah. It'll just start responding with meh.
Yeah. It'll be like half a sentence and like the most important word in that sentence is spelled wrong. And you're like, oh, what could this be? I don't know.
Yeah. The one sentence.
This is how we do it, guys. This is how we fight back against the AI overlords. You start feeding them 6th grade papers.
Okay.
Oh man, perfect. Circular sentences, saying the same sentence 8 times in a row. What?
I'd be very careful with that because they're gonna start like building our society off of that. So you don't want the president to have it using a speech written by that.
See, that's how we'll know. That's how we'll know nobody's bothering to read it. They're just printing it straight off and using it.
Oh,
because it'll just be peppered with misspellings. And they'll be on the teleprompter going,
yeah.
Like,
sorry.
Got him. Nobody wrote this.
Yes, and everyone's just
how we fight back against the Terminator future.
We got this.
That's how we stop Skynet.
It was so simple. It was so simple, people.
It was right there all along.
Yes.
Middle school writing. That's it.
Gosh, it's hilarious.
That's the answer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gosh. We'll see how far that happens until it's too smart.
Start that tomorrow.
Okay. Well, yeah. Uploading it one by one. Sorry. Were you going to say something?
Oh no, I was waiting.
No, you talk about kind of an overconfidence. I don't know, of self or whatever, but I confidently strode into Best Buy this week.
Wow, there's a sentence you don't hear very much in 2024.
No. And boy, howdy, did I feel like Robin Williams in that whatever that caveman thing was. That Robin Williams? No, that was did he do a cave?
Brendan Fraser.
Why? Okay, my brain. Anyway,
weirdly, I would like you to know that this is the second time this week that Encino Man has come up in my conversation. I just want you to know
what we do here. I don't. Sorry.
It's the most 90s movie ever.
It's so...
right. It's peak early 90s. Got Pauly Shore in it, man. Come on.
As previously discussed.
How you know?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
No. I think also as previously discussed. Fine as the side guy.
Yes. Oh, well, yes.
As the also there character. Fine. As if you're gonna bank your movie off Pauly Shore.
Oof, which don't.
Right? Did you? So if you compare and contrast Encino Man and like Biodome.
Mm.
No, just no. Encino Man's better. Anyway, you felt like Brendan Fraser in Encino Man.
I did.
You go, where are the CDs, man? Where are those compact disc players?
It is such a weird feeling. I don't. Have you been into a Best Buy at all?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
So, I remember
probably need to go because I need to at some point like do something with this laptop situation.
Uh-oh. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah. So I don't know how I would describe an early 2000s, late 2000s, like Best Buy, but like
hopping.
I'm gonna say this,
lots of yellow also.
Lots of yellow. And I don't know if you would get this feeling. It was oppressive with the amount of stuff in it. Like there were racks, and I think it was because like CDs and all of the shelving were like
big shelving,
long shelving, lots of shelving with shelving, right? Like it was everywhere. And so it just kind of felt like you were walking through this valley with these super high ridges that were on either side of you.
The valley of discs in various form, right?
Yes. Yeah. And you had to like wind your way through to get to like the outer edges of it, and like then you all of a sudden like every now and then you'd stumble across a vacuum cleaner and you were like,
sure, I'm not sure I ever really explored the outer edges of Best Buy, right? That was a bridge too far, you know. I stuck mostly to the middle, I guess, to continue this metaphor, the rivers and the lakes that I was used to.
Yes.
I
also appropriate.
Right. I didn't go over, at least in the Springfield, Missouri Best Buy, right? When you go in the door, when you went in the old door in like 2000, right? The right hand side, like the back right hand side, kind of the mystery to me. I knew the bathroom was over there.
It was.
That's about all I got. Don't know what else is over there.
Yeah, not sure anybody actually knows.
That back right corner, a mystery. And I will never know because it's gone.
Absolutely it is. I went in
that incarnation anyway.
Yes. Yeah, because again, I don't know how many. My last touch point with this was in fact like 20 years ago, for being very honest about this. So like this is why I felt so out of touch, because I came in expecting this, like there's a lot of things here, right? And they don't have those tall shelves anymore. It feels so open and empty. And there's still stuff, but like they're really making use of their space. So much so that they have like a whole like, hey, look, here's a smart treadmill for you to try out, right? And
nice.
They have switched the home. The home used to be all over on the left side, where that was the vacuum and the washing machines and stuff. Now all of those are on the right side, and there's like wide open. You just walk in and you're like, refrigerator is right over there.
Back wall used to be like TVs.
Okay. So things that have remained, and the back left wall was stereos for your car. That was the car audio section.
Oh,
and
right.
The back right corner was the home theater, where you could go in, and they had like a weird like theater room where you could go experience.
Gosh, yeah.
Okay. So the back wall is mostly
I was never
unchanged.
Going to buy a TV, so I never went over there.
Yeah, right. And I could never afford a $10,000 home theater system, so it was like,
also
I have no reason being over there. So the back wall almost completely unchanged. Still TVs, still home theater, still some car audio. The other spot that is also completely unchanged, the location of the cameras.
Right in the middle.
The middle kind of back.
Yeah.
That's still where they have the high cameras. Nothing else is the same in this.
Well, I guess the computers were kind of on the left side or the right side.
Right side. Yeah. Those are all not really there anymore. They have very few actual computers in the space, which is very odd.
The one thing that I would need at a Best Buy.
You would think that.
Like,
yes.
Like, yeah. But I guess, I mean, it makes sense because that huge footprint of all the stuff that you remember strolling through was all their shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves of physical media. Right. video
Yeah.
games, DVDs, CDs for days, right? I mean, that's the only reason I ever was in a Best Buy is to look for video games and CDs, right? That's all I
Oh yeah.
wanted in there. Like,
No, it
I
was
was like
very
17. That's what I'm doing at Best Buy. I'm not looking at home theater nonsense. Get out of here. I'm going
looking
for
at the computer games, other software there, trying to find
yeah.
your
I looked
another
at
copy of
yeah.
Windows or whatever. Like, it was such a different feeling of like, this is not, it was not a computer store. It was truly just like like an electronics store.
Store. Yeah.
More so, it was,
but sans computers, weirdly,
yeah,
because
yeah.
that's the thing that's if I was going to a Best Buy, that's what I would be going for. Right. Like I need that's what that's what my brain would think about, especially now, right? Like I don't know. Although I do like a CD, right? I do like that.
Mhm.
Although I read earlier this week, you know what else? It's making a big comeback apparently, enough so that I saw advertised to me on an ad.
Uh-oh.
Cassettes. Bro, I saw a new cassette player like featured in a magazine article, and I just sort of showed Susan and went, "What year is this?
Oh,
What's
is this
happening
our
right now?"
vinyls? Is this our vinyl? Is that what this is?
Maybe,
Is this the, oh my
yeah,
gosh.
but cassettes were never like good. That's the weirdest part
No.
about all this. Like,
No.
I mean, they're much more user friendly, so it
Well,
might be. But there's at least some sort of small push for cassette based music.
well, yeah.
Like I saw this thing. It looks like an old
Why?
Walkman. It has like USB plug-in battery and whatever, but it's actually only wired headphone compatible. I was like, yeah, get them. Think about those like
Why?
terrible, like the little metal, the old headphones with the little small on-ear headphones with the big foam,
Yeah,
like
that hurt you? Yeah.
the
Yes.
metal headband thing
That
with
are
the
terribly
weird
made.
plastic
Yes.
things that always broke.
Yes, absolutely.
I was imagining plugging a set of those dollar headphones into this brand new thing. I was like, that's the jam right there. That's the move.
What, if you could tell, how in your investigations here, did you get a see how much these were?
Well, this one in particular that I saw was like $120.
Oh,
Yeah.
why?
I don't know.
I didn't.
I mean, can you like? Here's the question, right? Like, people are actively making vinyl still.
Yeah.
It's still like a niche thing,
Oh
right?
yeah. But
Is
still,
anybody releasing cassettes,
yeah.
or do I have to like dig through a box in the attic at Dad's house to look for that like Iron Butterfly cassette I used to have in the car? Or like, pretty sure there was a Steppenwolf one in there somewhere that I just found at the tent sale, probably, right? Because my first car only had the cassette player, right? Because that's how we roll. We're cool like that. So we, so like, what do I have to track that down? Like, I don't know. It's really weird.
Is this a ploy to get people, like more people, like garage sailing or something, to like
Maybe.
I think, that's bizarre.
Yeah, it's real bizarre. Like, I guess now you have to buy your hi-fi stereo so you can record all your stuff, like record all your songs off the radio.
No. I don't understand, because it's definitely not. No, it's. I mean, it's better than it's better than vinyl, but like, what on earth? Like, did they?
It's more portable than vinyl.
Well, yeah, but like, why that form factor?
I don't really know. Right? Holy cow. Hey, if you go to tapeheadcity.com, you can buy tapes of your favorite alternative things. Would you like to buy? Oh, this is like, I don't know I guess these are like some. No, that can't be. Some of these are like old, like vintage, and some of these are like new. This appears to be a rancid cassette tape from like right now. It's hard to tell with Rancid because all their album covers are just their name. So that's a good job, guys. Way to go. But yeah, this is a Rancid hi-fi 24-bit audio. Bam.
Hi-fi cassette?
Oh yeah, that's what it says. It's just a buzzword.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There you go. $12.
$12 for a cassette?
Yeah.
They're okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. So apparently some people want cassette. Some people miss that cassette spooling out crazily and having to shove a pencil in there and like wind it back up. You know, really just an important part of your life that you need to have back.
No. I mean, who even has a pencil to shove in there to wind it back up when it doesn't take place?
Not a sixth grader, I tell you that much. Yeah. That's who doesn't have them. Because they're all on my floor. But that's what.
Oh no. All right.
But yeah, I just thought that's a real crazy I don't know. I don't know what this is. This like weird. We'll see. Right. We'll keep an eye on this. Listeners, if you have insight into the cassette tape industry, please let us know. We need to know why.
Why? Very importantly here. Why?
Yeah. What are we doing? What's going on here? Yeah, some of these are bands that definitely were not around when cassette tapes were a thing. So, like, there is a thing. Oh, here you go. Here's some more on Amazon. Let's see if we can find you a more reasonably priced cassette player.
Doubtful.
Oh, these are just like tapes forever. Man, that's crazy. Huh. This is a weird. Oh, this one's only $17, Collin. You're in. Boom. Portable cassette player. $17. This one is a portable cassette player that looks like a cassette tape. How could you say no to that? I mean, come on. Maybe it's just a cover. Maybe that's a case cover.
I think this is a ploy to lean into nostalgia for things that should not be nostalgic. This is this like yearning for things of the past to get people to buy more things because they are not spending enough money. It's like people trying to play up I don't know, like TV shows that like, you see these, but they go, oh, it was a cult hit, a cult classic, and I'm like, was it, or are you just trying to make it kind of desirable now? Like, are we rewriting history to think that these things were cool all the time? Like, I don't know.
Now I think hold on. I feel like you're veering off a little bit here because the cassette player was cool.
Well,
right. Like it was the coolest. You know what I mean? Like literally everybody had one at some point. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I feel like
fair point.
Fair. It's a bit different, because like saying like, oh, I don't know any cult television shows, but like saying everyone loves this, everyone loves Three's Company. Like, what?
Okay.
I don't think that's true, right? But like saying like everyone had a cassette player. Yes, that's actually factual. Yes. Like everything.
Yeah, but were people like, okay, so it was a thing, but like, were people actually wanting to go back and use one? Or I guess maybe that's just the definition of nostalgia. Is that
it's a nostalgia thing? Because like, I think you're right. It is like our vinyl because like now, like people are just like, okay, so here's kind of what happens, right? Kids get like nostalgic for their parents' stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And so like younger kids, we had this conversation in my class, like a side conversation at the end of the day, the other day, because somebody asked something. I was like, look, here's what you need to accept for the next several years of your life. Like the most powerful marketing force in the world is the teenage girl.
Yeah.
Right. They were talking about Stanley Cup. And I was like, this is why. because they like them, and that means it's cool to like them.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone likes them, right? so like kids like their parents' stuff, right?
Sure.
And so like, luckily people skipped 8-track tapes, but like, you know, when we were kids, like I wanted to listen to the records, and I like the things that, you know, like the 70s fashion was in, you know. You know, it was a big thing for a while.
Sure.
In the 90s, like 70s based fashion was a big thing and all that stuff. So now, like, the kids who want their parents' stuff, those kids' parents are our age. Oh no.
Oh no.
Right. So like, or a little bit older, right? Like a little older than us. Like those are the kids that want, that's the stuff that's like in fashion, is like their parents' stuff, or the parents are also like old enough that were like, hey, that's cool. I wish I could have that again.
Okay.
And now that they want it again, right? Because they're talking, you know, they're like, yeah, I used to have a Walkman, you know, or whatever. So it's like back a thing just because of that, of a combination of like, those people are now old enough to have like disposable income and just like buy random junk. And then their kids are also interested in their parents' stuff because they found it in the attic, they saw pictures, they have whatever, right? They have all the home movies from the giant like VHS things. They watch that stuff and they're like, oh, that's cool. You know, that's fine. You know, they explore that stuff that was their parents' thing, right? That's like their gateway into like looking at new stuff outside of current things. Sure. So they go through their parents, and what do they find? The giant box of cassette tapes, right? That's what. Actually, back to Best Buy. That means you also need to buy that rack that holds the cassette tapes, right?
Yes.
Right. And I believe that the last time I was in a Best Buy, that's actually what I bought. Not the cassette tape rack. I bought a shelf for DVDs. That's what I bought. I'm pretty sure that's the last time I was in a Best Buy.
Okay.
I bought a physical media shelf.
Oh.
Right. Because I have a bunch of DVDs still. But turns out I was right, because everyone's all mad because they're like, oh, I bought this thing and now the internet took it away. Like, that's right. Loser. I bought it.
Good thing that you don't, you know, lord it over people.
Yeah. You know what? You know what Netflix can't take away from you also? Your cassette tape. That's yours. Right. You got to put it in that big faux wood shelf. Right? There's two, as far as I'm aware, there are two cassette holders only. There is the big cassette rack that is faux wood, and it's like plastic, but it's like looks like wood around the outside, and then it's got the black insets, and the tapes sit in the little black thing. Or there's the wire one where it's just like it's like small wire, and you just set the cassettes in there. I think those are the old. I guess there's a third. There is an all black one. Right. But those are the only 3 cassette racks I think that exist. I think there's the all black, there's the fake wood one, and then the wire one for your like Scandinavian minimalism, but with a massive rack of cassette tapes. You know, I think that's your choice.
And the wire one, it looks very appealing until you actually try and go and like
harder to use.
Yeah, very, very hard.
Yeah. That's that's a hard one to pull off, right? It's hard to get it to go back in there, right? It looks nice when it's in there. Taking them in and out a lot. Doesn't really. It's hard to get them in there, you know?
Yeah. Oh, look, here's a vintage. I hate that word. Plastic cassette tape holder.
There you go. You just hate it because now it's vintage and it's not as old as you are. How do you feel about that?
Right? You're like, no.
That's a good.
I told you I was interviewing somebody for the job, right? I told you this, right? And they said,
yeah.
And I was like, this is not okay. This is not okay. I'm very, oh my gosh. Yeah. Where she was like, oh yeah, it's a 1984 step side cab. My my dad bought it for my mom because that was the year I was born. I was like, or that when she was born, and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
No, that's not. And you're what? You're restoring this car? Okay.
No, you cannot have this job. Get out.
I'm leaving this interview right now. I'm just letting you know we're done.
Position's been filled already. Bye. No, I'm just kidding.
No, for legal reasons. There was no discrimination based on age, person, pay, maybe the age of her mother. No,
of course. Yeah, not of her. Family. No, I'm just kidding. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it really hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, let me just drink of water really quick. I'm just going to. So
that's great.
Okay. Well, sounds like you're pretty ahead of the curve on getting ahead of the cassettes. Do you have any cassette in your possession right now? Can you say?
I think that's a big fat. I can't say there's zero. I think. Okay, so I am not aware of any cassettes in my possession. That's not to say that there's not a cassette tape in this house in a box somewhere.
Good distinction. Okay.
Right. Because I think maybe Susan might have a couple that are like stashed away in a box or a drawer someplace in like but I don't believe I have one.
Okay.
That I can think of. I never really had that many anyway, right? Because like I had a few. I had the ones I definitely had some that are like I recorded from other things. Right? I had those.
Oh, of course. Okay. Yeah.
And then I had a bunch that I bought like randomly at garage sales. I just had it in the car because, car. With the stupid cup holder thing that has the like cup holder and then the like 6 tape slots.
Yes.
I definitely had one of those.
The aftermarket thing, right?
Yeah. You just like set it on the floor of the car and it just like sits there weirdly and awkwardly, and the cup holder is basically useless, but you can definitely put change and cassette tapes in there. I had one of those. So
yes. Very important.
Yeah. So, but I don't think I currently have a cassette tape. I will do some research and I will find out if there are any cassette tapes in my house. Oh my gosh, my research assistant has just walked in and handed me the Righteous Brothers Reunion cassette. Side 1, song 1, Unchained Melody. Right where it belongs. Be real. That's right where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Yes, but we do in fact have at least one cassette tape.
Righteous Brothers.
The Righteous Brothers Reunion. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to jam out to that next time we're all together.
Oh yeah, definitely. Bring it up. Dad still got a tape player in that thing, right?
He does.
Perfect.
Does. Yeah, I don't even think he has. He used to have that gray one that we ended up putting
toys in, probably.
Yeah.
Cars.
Yeah.
Matchbox car.
Yes. I don't know where that is.
I don't either.
Anymore.
I don't know what tapes would have been in there. That would have been that was still like real early 90s. So that would have still been young me country music phase before I realized what was wrong with that plan. So I did before I grew out of that. I was true. So I definitely had some like random country cassette tapes.
Brooks and Dunn. Garth
definitely
Brooks.
Had Brooks and Dunn. 100%. I do believe Mom had like 9 Garth Brooks tapes. I don't really know if he had that many albums, but there was a lot.
She probably had some duplicates as just backups, a little bit of redundancy.
Yeah, we definitely did have random country music tapes, though. think that's what a lot of them were moms and my country. Yes. Well, I have no idea where those could be. It's a mystery.
Yes.
I have to look in that cabinet sink thing and see if they're just like sitting there.
They probably are just all stacked there waiting for you.
Stacked there, like covered in spiders.
Yeah.
No one has lifted this in hundreds of years.
Take them if you dare. Oh.
Yeah. Some Indiana Jones situation. Like, do I leave it here? Do I pull out Brooks and Dunn? I don't know what to do.
Obviously, you take it.
Obviously. Yeah. Side note.
Oh.
Feel like a good transition here.
Okay.
Did you ever finish the list that we talked about?
Okay, so since it's just us here,
okay.
I started the list.
Okay.
It's not all done.
Okay.
Sorry. So
okay, it's fine. I was just saying this would be a good point to interject that if we had it. But okay, coming soon. The list.
Yeah. Thank you.
No worries. I just want to check.
Anyway, and then back to the thing. Oh my gosh. No. Yeah, it's been I don't know. It's been a wild week. I took. Oh, sorry. I know we're like running long here, but
it's fine.
Other side story here. I took a vacuum cleaner in for repair this week.
What?
Yes.
Where did you do that? Was it just like an old guy's shed?
No.
Oh
no. So, I went to a place in Springfield because I called every place here locally, and they don't have them. They don't work on the model of vacuum that I need repaired.
Of course,
that's fine. It's fine, whatever. But no, in Springfield, there's a place called, what is it, Imperial Vacuum Cleaners? Yes, Imperial. This used to be, I don't remember the old name of this. Mimi used to take her vacuum cleaner to this place. Her 60s Kirby.
The Kirby?
Kirby.
Oh, where's that place?
Yeah. It's right over by Kraft, actually. It's right by my office. Okay. North Glenstone. You pass by, there's a Walmart over there now, but like you just go past that and like, yeah, it's right before Cherry Street up there. Kind of like
yeah.
Okay. I just walked in and I was like, hi, I need your help. And it was they have changed owners, so now they're more like a factory direct repair supply house is really what they do. But they also do in-house repairs for all sorts of makes and models. And of course I came in and I was like, I have this vacuum. I bought it in 2018. It is no longer happy with life. Excuse me. And they said, okay, well, describe the behavior and blah, blah, blah. And I just said what it was. And then, of course, when they plugged it in, it didn't do any of that like, at all.
That's how it always works, right?
Oh.
Never when they're watching.
No.
Right? It's like,
no. So I described what was going on, and they're like, well, we'll leave it here. We'll tear into it. We'll try and do a diagnosis because what you're saying sounds like familiar to what we've heard before in these kind of things. It may be a control panel switch or like it's whatever. Like I was like, yeah. I don't know. All I know is I don't have a vacuum anymore. And they're like, well, do you need a vacuum? And I said, well, when I say that, I actually mean to say that my vacuum cleaner is a 1960s Kirby heritage. And they were like, what? I was like, anyway, it's not important, but I. So
yeah, he's like flexing on the vacuum guys. Are like jealous much?
Just letting you know.
Just letting you know. That's what I'm rocking at home. Like I got the.
No, I think they were mostly concerned because they're sitting in there with like all these high tech, like latest and greatest vacuum cleaners, and I'm like, no, from 1960s. That's what I bring to the table here, buds.
Yeah.
So Don't
the
mess with me.
heaviest vacuum cleaner in the universe. That's what we are
Literally,
going with
I'm pretty sure the base is made of cast iron. Like, I'm
probably
really sure about that. So oh my gosh. I just yeah, it was so funny being in there and just like handing them off a vacuum, and like I was dropping it off like a daycare and being like, "See you later, little buddy."
Oh my god.
You know, let it go on its way off to the big old world, right? Make some new friends.
How
I hope he's happy. So yes, our
should call him later.
Should see if I can get a report. But so our main vacuum this week has been the Kirby.
What a workout.
Yeah. Tell you what, because we had the other one downstairs because it was more it had more like head and height adjustments. It was better on hardwoods and the Kirby. And so the Kirby's been our upstairs bathroom. Kirby, yeah, it's been our upstairs one, which is great because it's all carpet and it does a fantastic job. Like genuinely, like it's still like kicks butt on the carpet.
You don't have to carry it up and downstairs. So the real winner,
except this week.
Yeah, really.
And the other thing that we had a canister vacuum for our downstairs, and I wanted a canister because so speaking of nostalgia, like I remember
the vacuum bag. That's what you do.
Remember this. So I don't
remember what it was. Do you remember the one that mom and dad had, that just big giant weird black thing that lived in the closet over there? Like that thing had weird vacuum bags too. That was annoying. I didn't like it.
Didn't it?
Yeah. I don't know what that was, but it was like big monster black thingy that just like
I don't know. What's that?
I don't know, but that's what it was. It sat in that closet in the washer thing.
Yeah. Well, I remember the basement canister that you could pull behind, and you put the little
white one.
Yeah, the white one. So that's what. So anyway, so we had one of those, and I use the Dickens out of the hose. Apparently, like I am a hose fiend. Like
surprise.
I use this to clean all sorts of places. Like up above the window, like on the little window thing, and like all sorts of things. And not having one readily accessible is very frustrating because
it's doing you in, isn't it? Yeah,
in order to convert. Now, I will say the good thing, the Kirby can do this, but you have to basically tear off the front. Do you remember this in the vacuum?
Oh
yeah. It has the roller on it, but you flip a lever, and then you turn the knob on the front, the little panel, a couple times, and it removes the rubber band. It's not a rubber band, but it's the rubber thing.
The belt. That's called a
rubber belts. Yeah, thank you. Off of the drive shaft, and then you just you take the thing off, and then you can clip in a harness for the hose.
Yeah. Very advanced technology here.
I mean, it's ingenious for like, how do you get this belt off? Like, it's pretty cool. Like, I like it. On the other hand, extremely inconvenient to like, let me rush over, and no. There's no rush.
12-step process.
Let me run upstairs and find the hose. Let me bring it downstairs.
Yeah. Whereas most modern vacuums, just like ours, you just like pull the thing out.
Yes.
And the back has like just like a random spot where random attachments are just like
stored,
clipped to there, right? The hose extender, aka sword / thingy throw at your sibling, clearly.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yep. As one does.
Yeah. Sorry, Aaron.
He's fine. He doesn't. They fly so well. You wouldn't think it, but man, those things are aerodynamic. Yeah, so
who would have thought a tube would be aerodynamic? Like
boom.
A rocket. Oh wait.
Not they fly straight. This was like an anyway, topsy-turvy thing. Anyway, all that to say, it's been fun. That's all else.
Well, it definitely sounds exhausting carrying the giant vacuum cleaner up and down the stairs.
Yes.
Yes. That thing's a behemoth. But
yes. So I've been doing Blast from the Past all over, going into a vacuum repair store, been doing
Man, I just had a visual of you like vacuuming your floor, Walkman clipped to your belt. Right? Like rocking out to your cassette tapes while vacuuming the living room.
I mean, if you don't count not having a Walkman, that's basically been my life this week. Pretty accurate.
We now know that problem is solvable. So I mean,
and as soon as so now I can actually fully embrace it.
Yeah, I'll buy a blank cassette and record you off the Righteous Brothers.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay. Okay. This is something to look forward to.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. It's beautiful.
Yeah. That's anyway. Yeah, that's all.
Man, Best Buys and vacuum stores. Who saw that coming?
I know. Right. Y'all are welcome.
I like it. Well, before you scamper off to bed, might I ease your mind?
Ooh, yes.
With a bit of a haiku. Now, actually, this haiku might induce trauma slightly. Because this is a haiku about the school bus.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
All right, are you ready?
I am.
For the school bus haiku. Right, here we go. Haiku. A hymn. No seats to be found. Thunderous cacophony. Echoes fill the void.
That is so traumatizing.
You can feel that one, can't you? You can just you can feel the bus seat. When they
Yeah, and just like the lack of any insulation or sound deadening anywhere, and
I'm particularly proud of Thunderous cacophony. I like that.
Yes.
I was visualizing the rattling noises of the bus filled with just like all the yelling.
Yeah, the windows that didn't like actually stay up.
Yeah,
and like everything. Yeah, everything was just so terrible.
Yeah. Plus, just shouting everywhere.
Yeah.
Bus drivers shouting, kids are shouting, everyone's shouting. Yeah.
Internal screaming going on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. No. Okay. Great. You captured those emotions super well.
Wow. I was going for it.
No, you did. You did it. Ding. Okay, well, with that relaxing mindset ahead, we shall say adieu.
All right.
I love
to you and you and you.
Anyway, that's for another time. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, love you.
Love you.
Bye.